Hundreds of Cosatu members have gathered at Gallagher Estate in Midrand for the much-anticipated Cosatu Special National Congress. The gathering has been 2 years in the making, and it takes place against a backdrop of heightened public wrangling between the leadership of Cosatu and its expelled affiliate, NUMSA. Delegates from across the country began arriving early today amid a strong police presence. For more, we cross live now to our reporter Mbongeni Muthwa in Midrand. Mbongeni, can you just recap for us why Cosatu is holding the Special National Congress and what you expect to transpire?
Well, Gunther, the call for a Special National Congress at Cosatu has been around for about 2 years now. It was first made in September 2013. At the time, it was NUMSA pushing or leading the call for this. Mainly, it wanted Cosatu to decide on its political direction, on its relationship with the ANC and the alliance. NUMSA, of course, having begun to feel that the time for Cosatu to be aligned with the ANC is long gone now. But since then, a lot has happened in Cosatu, a lot of infighting, culminating in the expulsion of NUMSA and lately Zwelezi Mavavi. And the NUMSA went to court to fight for this Special National Congress to be held, and they won there, and that's why we're here today. Coming here, no wonder then that the mood here is very tense. There is clearly a lot of division between the affiliates that support NUMSA that are still within Cosatu and the others that are opposed to NUMSA, the likes of Nehau and so on. Earlier, I managed to get a word with the General Secretary of SAKAU, which is one of the smaller unions in Cosatu, but SAKAU is aligned with NUMSA, and they are saying that, in fact, they want to use this Special Congress to change the leadership of Cosatu, to basically to oust the current leaders. In fact, now we can take a listen at what the General Secretary of SAKAU had to say earlier on.
The reality of the situation is that Cosatu has lost leadership, and that's what we are here for, to revive Cosatu, to discuss how to achieve unity and cohesion for Cosatu, and elect leaders who are committed to lead Cosatu and don't get compromised, and don't be shy to advance resolutions of Cosatu in any situation.
Mbongeni, what are the opposing affiliates saying?
Well, they are playing their cards close to their chests. Of course, there's been a lot of public statements that have been made leading up to this. In fact, the president of Cosatu even going public and accusing NUMSA of spending a lot of money to buy delegates here, to try and influence things here. Of course, NUMSA is barred from attending here. But I managed to speak to the General Secretary of Nehau, which is one of the leading affiliates now that are supporting the current leadership and are on the opposite side of NUMSA and the faction that supports it. And he was really non-committal as to how they are planning to tackle the motions that are going to be put forward here. But no doubt they've made a lot of work and lobbying and caucuses to see how they're going to defeat those who have called for this Special National Congress. At this point, we can take a bit of a listen as to what Midrand Soga, the General Secretary of Nehau, had to say earlier on.
In terms of the submission that we have, there are letters that they requested the Special National Congress. They are mentioning two issues. The first issue is that they want us to discuss, or they want Cosatu to discuss the unity and cohesion of the federation. The second point is to discuss leadership. That's how they've crafted their request for the Special National Congress. So we've agreed. So we're going to discuss unity and cohesion of the federation. We're going to discuss leadership. So we'll hear what they want to say. So I can't speculate on what you have just articulated as what they want to discuss in actual. But what?
Mbongeni, what are the chances of those pushing for the return of NUMSA and Zwelezi Mavavi succeeding?
Well, judging by how things have transpired in this never-ending saga of infighting in Cosatu, NUMSA and its faction have lost almost all the battles inside Cosatu up until this point, especially in the CEC of Cosatu, the Central Executive Committee. How the balance of forces square up here, given that the fact that here you've got delegates from all over the country, from the lower structures of Cosatu, not just from the CEC, but from the regions and the branches, and how exactly that's going to shape the balance of forces, it remains to be seen. One thing I can tell you is we've just had a very unprecedented situation here where the media has been kicked out of the House when the Congress was getting underway, and the main items at the top of the agenda is the adoption of the credentials and the adoption of the program. That is where the unions that are supporting NUMSA, and they are going to be pushing for elections and the reinstatement of NUMSA and VAVI, are going to make their call and motivate, and that matter is going to be debated. The media has been kicked out of this. It's going to be a very, in fact, it's going on right now, and no doubt it's a very heated discussion. So that's where those who are calling for the reinstatement of NUMSA and VAVI are either going to win or lose their battle here. So we just wait and see what's going to transpire there.
Well, that's Mbongeni Muthwa, a reporter in Midrand, live from the Special National Congress of the Cosatu.